from a week off. Welcome to the Claw Pod. Ross Marshall, I'm the AntMan. Thank you guys for hanging out with us here on, if you're watching when it drops on Tuesday morning, appreciate that so much. If you're listening right now, wherever you're taking in this podcast, please like, subscribe, and tag along on this journey that we're going on here. This is a big week. This is the week of All In, gents.
And we've been talking about it forever, it seems like. And here we finally are.
It felt like it was in the distance. It was out there. It was, down, in July. And oh crap, that's this weekend.
Yeah, you know what's crazy is every podcast I sit here and I stare at our All In from last year London credentials. Nice. I'm sitting there staring at it, and I didn't realize that it's almost a year, right? The last year was a month before, or was it August?
Yeah, it was a month right before, I think.
Yeah, and, but that really didn't feel like that long ago, and and I remember thinking, "Oh, just wait till All In Dallas. That's going to be crazy,
massive." Yeah, absolutely.
And so it's here. It's official.
It is. And I'll tell you, one of the big factors as I look at is where ticket prices are for pro wrestling these days. And I know that it's great for you guys making more money, the more people that are at it and the more that they pay for tickets. But I myself, who don't go to a ton, but to the ones I go to that I do pay for, I'm like, okay, we can pump the brakes a little bit on prices. That I appreciate what AEW has done for the top tier. Like if you're a diehard, you're sitting in the first 5 rows, you're barely paying over $1,000 for a ticket. With the other guys, it's $10,000 to $12,000 to $15,000, depending on what all you're doing there as well.
That's insane, man. You want people to come to the show, not
Here's the deal. We're not having issues with people showing up. So until that happens, I think is what will cut off those giant ticket prices, or experience prices, I should say, because it's not just a ticket; it's a bunch of other stuff as well. But I read through this, and I'm just trying to pull it up real quick because the actual experience is pretty cool. I mean, the top low is $1,350. So, and there are still some of those, so you can buy those now. Premium floor seats in the first 5 rows, commemorative chair, so you can take the chair home with you. That's pretty standard now these days.
Okay.
Exclusive access to the Germania Club, one of the clubs there at the stadium. It's also pre-show appearance by AEW stars, pre-show ringside photos with championship belts, AEW VIP credential, complimentary seat to Ring of Honor's pay-per-view on Friday, the 11th. What is that? Is that a Friday? Yeah, Friday, July.
It's a Friday, yeah.
Merch pack. You get a merch pack. So you get merch in this as well. You can buy other stuff and you get your own time shopping. So crowd-free shopping. Just the people who bought this get to go.
That is freaking cool.
Superstore Fast Pass, dedicated early entrance, all that kind of stuff. And that's pretty cool. $1,350.
Okay. Man, thank you, Tony. That's nuts. Cool. The fact that a ticket can be in the $12,000 to $15,000 range is crazy.
$1,300 for it.
Okay.
People are paying for it. That's what's just ridiculous.
Yeah.
WWE is selling those, and for I know they do it again for WrestleMania. They'll do it for SummerSlam. I don't think SummerSlam is as expensive as that, but I know WrestleMania, the granddaddy is just $20 million or whatever for.
And so when you're watching a pay-per-view and you see those people in the front row, they're balling.
What's funny, and no judgment, they don't look like billionaires. I'll say that.
I know.
I'm not being mean. I'm just saying, what I do love about wrestling in general is that it goes across all socioeconomics. You have lower end, and you have I drove in my Chevy, whatever at the time, to a show. Like we were parking and we're driving in the lanes next to each other, and they were in a G-Wagon. And what was funny is when we got inside, we were sitting like 3 seats down from the same people. And this is crazy because there's people socioeconomic are the bottom end and ones that are driving G-Wagons and taking their kids. Like, dude, everybody. I love it.
Pro wrestling really does. It connects people because we're the same thing when going to different countries, and to see that there was when we're in Israel, there's Arabs and Jews and Muslims. They're all together cheering, screaming, and it's crazy. Something like pro wrestling can bring so many people together. I mean, think about that with money either, but
it's extremely like mainstream right now too. If you look at like all the influencers and everything right now, it's like, you know, like SNL or whatever, like there'll be, you know, famous people doing stuff. You know, WWE has like a long history of doing that kind of thing. So, you know, it's just cool that it is so mainstream, and it's probably even grown even more in the last like 3 to 5 years, I think.
Dude, what's cool too is you can tell Tony wants to impress people with this All In.
Yeah.
And I think this one is going to be crazy. It's going to be like, the shows have been getting like more and more fun to watch, and I was already an AEW fan, but now I'm like getting invested into the storylines and stuff. And so I am super excited to just watch the show. I can't wait. The fact that we're a part of it's awesome, but I'm staying. I'm watching the whole thing.
We're going to do our thing. Then we're going to grab a comfy seat, get some popcorn, and enjoy the show.
Be wrestling fans.
Be wrestling fans again. Yeah.
Yeah, man. This is going to be fun.
Speaking of that, I want to hit rewind real quick to this past Sunday. You had a sold out event at the Von Erich Ranch. Tell me how that went down.
Yeah, man. So yeah, we're I feel like we're starting to get like a rhythm going with these shows here, and we want to continue to do it. And this one felt like it went a lot more smooth. There was, you know, because of what Texas, the Hill Country has gone through for the past couple of days with this flood, there has been a really intense, just airy feeling when you go into town. Because lives are lost, and especially when it's kids, man, it's just heavy. Yeah, it's just awful. And I know Ross and I, maybe because just what the family has dealt with so much grief, it's like it's really hard to see that stuff constantly when you see, you know, you on Facebook, and it's just there's so much hurt in the world and there's nothing I can do about it to fix it. And the fact that we could put a wrestling show on, and the fact that we had the wrestling show already set up, we're like, okay, let's do a little donation box. And the fact that we could like give back a little bit, but there's nothing you can say or do to a parent that's lost a kid. But
you know,
of course,
I'm glad we at least got to do the 10 bell salute, and we, you know, said a few words and a quick prayer before the show. And so that kind of brought us all together and kind of, you know, centered everything before we started the show. So that was kind of cool.
It's cool too, is we said, you know, in honor of those lives and honor those lives lost, let's have a joyful night tonight. Let's celebrate life. And I think that's what we really did do. Every show, every match on the card was exciting. One of our good buddies, Jimmy House, he's is up and comer, and he is going to be just different and special. And he was in there, and I'm so happy that people are seeing him and watching him, because he looks like he needs to be on TV, and he went in there and just exploded. And he kind of set the pace for the whole show. I think he was first or second match, but the crowd was hot and excited. And then we came in, and it was cool because we weren't main event. We were semi-main event, which was nice because we actually stick around and watch everything and be with everybody. Yeah. But this show was a success. It was so much fun, even though it was raining and all that.
Yeah,
still sold out. Had everybody come in. It was just a great time, man.
Ross, you're still showing some effects from Sunday night.
Yeah. So Marshall, I think, took a double team, and me being the great brother and partner that I am, I wasn't going to let it go down like that. So I ran in there and I sacrificed my face a little bit and took a super kick, but I broke up the pin, and we were able to come back and win the match. So, you know,
a lady hit him with her purse. It's on the real story, man. You're creeping her out.
No, I'm proud that it was a super kick. There was no leg slap going on there. So, you know,
that pop was your eyeball.
Yeah, exactly.
That was the slap sound.
Yeah, that was a boom.
Well, that sounded much different than normal. Yeah, it's because he really.
What was funny too is he already kind of had a black eye because we were training this week, and so he
clashed heads a little bit earlier. So he kind of got me started a little bit, and then
it opened right up. And so it was cool though. You don't see any of like the laceration part of it in at least the video, but
yeah, I know. But when I showered a lot, it didn't look as cool because some of the blood came off, and it wouldn't, you know.
Did it cut you right there at the eyebrow?
It did, and I had like a cool. I had a really cool mark that went like that. You can still kind of see it there, but yeah, it looked a lot cooler last night. But
you still feel it today?
It's sensitive, like around it, but yeah, it's good, man. It'll be gone in a couple days.
Okay.
But that's the fun part is if you have a match you're like happy with, and then you're coming home and you're on the plane and stuff, and you have a black eye and stuff, it's like I feel like I earned my money this weekend.
Yeah.
You're carrying that title with you.
Yeah, exactly.
And and you got a black eye. You're like, oh, you worked for that, didn't you?
Yeah.
That's
I'll
right.
wear my title on the plane.
No bread. Yeah. That's funny. Okay, well, I'm glad that was a successful event. Do you already have one on the calendar for our next RCW out there?
We're going to nail down a date, but yes, we are doing another RCW show 100%, and 90% sure our opponents are going to be the Texas Treats, which was pretty much our RCW debut once we moved back to San Antonio. And so we have some fun history with those guys, and those are the kind of heels that you don't want to miss. They are fun to watch, and they get people mad.
Yeah, and they had the audacity to get on the microphone after their match and be a little disrespectful to us in our own home in front of our,
literally.
So yeah.
Wow. Okay, so something coming up soon though. Next.
Yeah. Well, next show we'll mention the date. Yeah.
I put rice in their gas tank before they left.
Sugar, rice, whatever.
Either one. I think a rice turns to sugar anyway. So okay, so you got that one out of the way, and now nothing between here and this Friday. Assuming that do you know what your plans are on Friday at Ring of Honor's Supercard of Honor on Friday, July 11th, the night before All In Texas?
I'm pretty certain we will be defending the titles, which I'm pumped about. And then All In, I really don't.
You mean?
Yes. And so All In, I don't know what exactly we're doing, but there's with ROH, I don't know if because my dad's coming with us, and I don't know if we should or if it has been announced or anything. But my dad is officially AEW. He's on the team. He's with AEW now, and so
awesome. I didn't know that.
Yeah, dude. We were surprised too, and we're like, "What, Dad? You're?" And he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm on the team now."
Did he just decide that and say, "Now I'm part of the team"? Is that?
I guess so. I guess.
All right, that's all right.
That's like, he's basically got like the like a sort of a Legends deal kind of thing, which is awesome. AEW is able to do some cool stuff like that. So,
dude, honestly, I'm so happy AEW, because there is guys that didn't have a full career in WWE. There's guys like Bill Goldberg too. Like they don't have a long history with them. It's cool to have a place for them because they're what they know. They still have tons of tools that will help younger guys and all that.
Mm-hmm.
And having my dad, guys like my dad in the locker room, you'll get better. He'll start when my dad's in the locker room, he'll be in like a deep conversation with one of the wrestlers, and it's crazy who he impacts and talks to. And like Ross and I were impressed with the people that are like really respect him. Will Ospreay was we saw him in passing just a couple of shows ago, and he was like, man, he loved our family, and he was really impacted by it. It's just you're surprised at how many people know the story, especially in current wrestling, like with what they're doing. It's cool. It shows that Will's really is a student. He studies everything,
all eras and all styles and everything. So
I know MJF watches world class all the time too, and I was impressed with how much he knew in the documentary thing, the Discovery.
Oh, sure. Yeah. On the Hollywood Demons. Episode 5 was the one that is
that's right. Yeah.
You can watch that on Max, I believe. Yes, on Max. You can watch it on there right now. We talked about it here on the show, but if you haven't had a chance to watch that, it's incredible. You should go see that. If you have the streaming service Max, I have it for Big Bang Theory and Friends, and I'm glad I had it for
Yeah, perfect, man.
It's
cool.
Did you ever go to as a random question, but isn't there a Friends museum? Where is it? Shoot, I forgot the town. I've just heard about it.
I've seen like pop-ups in New York and a couple of other places. They do that with The Office as well, which I'm a huge fan of. I also see that they have some set up at the Warner Brothers lot in LA.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
The Office is on that's on Peacock.
Yeah,
that's right. Okay. Because
but we're gonna keep getting off topic here. But like, I think Friends, that was like as big a hit as Seinfeld was like in the '90s. You don't really realize how long it was. Like, everybody knew what it was. You know,
Friends was actually much bigger than Seinfeld. I saw a big deal with Jerry talking about how it took forever to get that show off the ground, and they kept pouring money into it. And guess they got money to make episode 2, 3, 4, and 5, I believe. I think it was 4 episodes. They canceled the Saturday night's main event and used the money that they were going to use with WWF at the time, and used the money to fund the next 4 episodes of Seinfeld.
No way.
You know what? Seinfeld is that was more like of a not cult following, but it was like
kind of
like a niche
really
thing. Yeah, I know what you mean. Yeah,
it had its fans, and still to this day there are people who go, I just don't get Seinfeld. I love it. I think it's hilarious.
Yeah, me too.
But Friends was definitely the overall winner of it wasn't a battle. I think it followed.
It was like the next decade, and I think and then The Office was like the next decade after that, pretty much. Like,
see, those 2 shows, I don't know if, because they were just always on, so I watched them all the time. So I don't know if I liked it, or it was just because it was on all the time.
It just reminds me of
it's certain while to do The Office. Like, I watched the first probably 3 episodes, maybe 10 times before I ever watched anything past the first season.
The Office. I will gladly go through reruns, and that's hard to do for there to be a show where you're okay with watching reruns. But
do y'all watch it at night, like before you go to bed?
Yeah, that's my time to watch The Office.
Exactly.
There's something like cozy about it. I don't know why, but I love watching The Office, and any season is good to me. It's cool watching Dwight's character develop, though. As the seasons go on, he gets crazier and crazier.
Yeah, he had like the more diabolical he kind of got later on. He got more and more funny. And just,
Dwight, played by Rainn Wilson, has a podcast, and he had I think it's from a year ago, but I just happened to watch it, and he had Creed Bratton on, which Creed Bratton is that actor's real name, Creed Bratton, and he was actually in one of the seasons he kind of gets more developed, and they talk about how he was in a group called the Grassroots and all this stuff, all 100% his life for real.
Oh, what?
Shoot. Yeah, absolutely.
What thing, man? Okay. Because Creed, there's something about him. You can tell, like, I was like, man, was he friends with somebody, one of the writers or something? There's something interesting about him. And then he like sang on the last episode, and it was like good.
It's really good. Like, okay. Yeah. And then he gets arrested because
that's his real life, though. That's so funny. Yeah, every time
because it was so random. I was like, yeah, they could have made that up, but it also, he's that age.
Random.
He's done some stuff.
He was originally just a background. Him and Devin, and that the legit thing was that one of them was going to get fired, and they ended up making that an episode. In real life, one of them was going to be let go from the cast because they were just background characters.
So it's kind of a shoot a little bit.
Yeah, it was for sure. And they shot both of them getting it, and both of them getting fired. And
really,
then they kept the one with Devin getting fired and Creed staying, and Creed became part of the actual. You see in credits where he sits, especially IMDb, he was like in the background, but then a featured cast member.
Yeah, man,
fourth till the end or something.
Now, as I think about it, I feel like it wouldn't really be The Office without Creed. He didn't have a huge role, but there needs to be Creed in there.
And for some reason, like, he's kind of an obscure character, but he kind of brought it all together because he's really interesting, and like, because you don't hear much about him, but he can be super funny at certain times, man.
Yeah, dude. Creed. And then I really think that Steve Carell, I really think that actor is like brilliant because for the fact that he can like be the most obnoxious, self-centered person, and like the stuff he says too. I know so many people like that. Like, man, how is he acting that? It has to be real.
He just acts like he was definitely like a single child kind of.
Yeah, exactly.
We've all met a guy kind of like that, kind of wants all the attention, kind of nerdy, weird a little bit. Yeah, I know.
Man. Well, there's so many scenes that I go, I have no idea how they got through this.
I know, man. Yeah, definitely. There's no way. I can keep a straight face.
Believe it or not, The Office has absolutely nothing to do with All In Texas.
Oh yeah.
But I know. Sorry. Like 20 minutes in.
That's all right. That's all right. That's what makes this podcast special. We're completely random, and then we do pull it back on track towards the end. I'd love to hear from you if you're going. Like, drop a comment in this podcast wherever if you're watching, especially on YouTube. Drop a comment and let us know and where your seats are. We'll shout you out here on the podcast next week, and then
what your favorite Office episode was.
Yes, or that too.
Okay, I'll stop.
It's like a like a whirlpool. It just circles back around.
Yeah, coming back.
The Office is just like that
keeps popping back up.
That's right. Absolutely. That's what she said.
Speaking of the Office, there you go.
So you don't know what you're doing at All In Texas. You know what you're more than likely you're doing at Ring of Honor. The rest of the events, there are so many, and I kind of want to highlight some of this because I thought it was pretty cool. All the stuff that's going on.
We got StarCast too, right?
StarCast is rolling. StarCast is rolling July 11th and 12th, and that's at the Sheraton, which is you can't miss it. On the back, where the stadium is, behind it to the right a little bit is Texas Live and the Lowe's Hotel, but across the parking lot, just on the other side of the old Texas Stadium, where the Rangers used to play, it's still there. That's where the UFL plays football. Just on the other side is the Sheraton. So it's all this is in walking distance. So if you're staying there, you can do all that. But there's StarCast, so you can meet some of your favorite AEW stars and non-AEW stars, just wrestling stars. Going to be there signing autographs, take pictures, doing all that. But I just read this today, and I want to know if you're going to be a part of it. AEW All In Karaoke.
Whoa.
Join the stars of All Elite Wrestling for a memorable evening. Sing your favorite songs on stage and cheer on your friends. This can't miss event goes from 10 p.m. till 2 a.m. at the Champions Ballroom inside the Sheraton in Arlington. It says tickets on sale. It says tickets on sale June 12th. I don't think that's. Oh yes, I'm sorry. June 12th. July 12th is this week. So it's on Thursday night, July 10th at 10 p.m. Thursday night. Do you have any plans to do karaoke at the Sheraton?
Okay, so I know one cool thing about the Sheraton, it's connected to the building that we're doing the show on the 11th. What's it called? Esports
Arena. You're right. Yep.
And then I know Ross and I will be at StarCast from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on the day of All In, and so we'll have a table on the 12th. Okay. My dad too, but I'm not sure if he's sitting with us or what his time slot is. Yeah. But I've envisioned so many times that we're all sitting in the AEW locker room. Someone hands me a guitar, and I'm like, "Oh, stop!"
Well, and I go, crazy. What is this? And really, you just told me, hand me the guitar and just walk away. There.
Yes. Yeah. But in my head, my voice sounds awesome. That
so
part.
What song is it then?
Well, there's a couple. There's because everybody's voice. Everybody's voice, has I feel like it has its own song, but unfortunately, my song is that song. I can't think of the freaking title, but I'm your lady. So my voice just kind of flows right into it. Once you see me at a karaoke bar, you'll know it makes sense. Okay. But yeah. So but I got to change up the
Ross. You know what to do, right?
Yeah, I know what to do.
Make sure his name and that song gets on.
Yeah. I'm already there.
Belly drums, but it sounds good when he's doing it.
Yeah, I'll have my shirt in my mouth, and then I'll just be doing the drums for you.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, proper tag team.
Tear drops down your eye.
We've got a good video of this, guys, for next week's podcast. This happens. It's got to happen. At least have an account here on the podcast. You know that. Right?
One time we were in Japan. This sounds like a made up story, but one time we were in Japan. We were still like the classified young boy, sure. And we were in some town. I don't remember what town we were in, but it was so busy in city that Ross and I were
Roppongi?
No. It was like it was 6 or 7 hours out of Tokyo, and we lived pretty close to Roppongi. Okay. But we were. I remember you and I finished our match, and we were getting to the hotel, and I was like, "Hey, I'm going to run to Lawson's real quick." It was really confusing because when Ross and I, we'd never know. Nobody spoke English. We'd never know if we're about to be at the hotel or how soon it was. So if we knew we were getting into a city, like, okay, try to remember some stuff so we don't get lost. And our phones didn't work or anything. And it was a few years ago. So, but anyways, I made the mistake at 11 o'clock at night of I had to go eat something. So I left and I found the Lawsons and I got some food. But then as I was walking back, I got lost, and I usually don't get lost. Believe it or not, I have decent direction, but I got lost. And then I see Morishima, at the time he was the big champion, and you can't miss him. He's a Japanese Terry Gordy. He moves like Terry Gordy.
Okay.
He like
a lot of people call him Japanese Terry Gordy. A lot of people.
Yeah. He said that Terry Gordy is one of his favorite wrestlers.
Right.
But anyways, his English is not so good. He knows okay and let's go. That's the two things he's got. And I was like, Morishima-san. I was like, me lost hotel. I don't know. I don't know. And I was like trying to explain it to him. And he's like, okay. And he grabbed me by my wrist. This dude walks me for like an hour and 30 minutes. And I know because my hotel was only like 5-minute walk. I was like, I know we're in the wrong direction. How the heck am I going to get back? I was like panic. And I was like in my basically my PJs, man. I was wearing sweatpants and slip-on shoes, shower hotel shoes, which are tiny because we're in Japan. And so we go into this like tiny little alleyway. And I was like, is this dude about to kill me? I don't know what I did to piss him off. But we go in this tiny little door in the middle of and this door opens up and it's an elevator. You get in the elevator, we go up like 6 floors, and then all of a sudden the doors open. All the Japanese wrestlers are there. Everybody's hammered. Everybody's doing karaoke, playing the piano. And I'm like, what? And I was completely no alcohol in me at all, just homesick and wanted to go.
I'm just looking for my room, guys.
Dude,
get a microphone in your face and
go party.
Dude, it's so I was in my head too. I was like, man, Ross isn't going to believe that all this is happening. So they Morishima he said something in Japanese to everybody, and then everyone just all attention went on me at once. And I was just I was holding my can. All I had was chocolate milk, my little carton. And I was like, hey, and everybody popped it. Yeah, I don't know what I agreed to or what, but I obviously agreed to something. So they gave me a microphone and then a little remote. And the only song I could see on there that I like knew what song it was Justin Bieber, Baby Baby. So I karaoke'd that.
Either one of these will work for the karaoke party, just so
yeah.
So also, if you are going to All In Texas, know that there is a tailgate happening before and an after party. And they're both absolutely free, which I think is awesome. Texas tailgate and an after party. It says that come party with AEW at Texas Live on Saturday, July. If you've never been to Texas Live, you have to go to the tailgate party. This is so much. It is just a fun venue. I've been there. I work with Granger Smith. I've been there for a concert of his when he was touring. That was so much fun. I was there for a Busted Open party when WrestleMania was in Dallas a few years ago. Just a cool venue, and I think you'll have a great time. And it's all open air, so you can see probably where you parked. If you park up next to Globe Life Field, you can see Globe Life Field, and through the back of it, you can see AT&T Stadium in the back. Which
that's pretty sick, especially if you're a Dallas person. That's like
even if you're not, it's a cool visual. It looks like a ship sitting back there.
Yeah, I remember I didn't when I was younger. I was like, that's weird. They put the stadium, the Rangers Park, Six Flags, like all combined in one area. Now I like it.
It's kind of awesome.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense.
Well, guys, I'm looking forward to hearing how it all goes. I'll be camped out on my couch watching. And if you want to give me a heads up that you're getting ready to go out, I'd appreciate that. That'd be cool.
Yes. We usually we like to give, if for big matches, like to give Anthony a play-by-play. So he's going to get we're going to give you a play-by-play, and you can update.
I might even have an earpiece for this match. I don't know.
Awesome. I'll be like the second ref. I'll
waiting game right now.
Bump, okay.
Anthony, because radio's your thing. One day I want to get those Google glasses, and I want you to start typing up my promos.
Okay.
And so hopefully they'll be like nice sunglasses, and I'm not sitting there reading like that the whole time. Let me tell you something.
Right in the ring.
Yeah.
But looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be epic just as a wrestling fan, but for AEW as a whole right now, where I believe what I read the other day, where it sits in the top 3 highest selling shows that AEW has ever done.
This is going to be huge. I could tell. You can tell Tony wants to impress everybody. Tony has something up his sleeve, and I've never been so excited for an AEW show. There's definitely that Dallas energy, and of all places, Dallas. If you're going to do something big, you might as well do it in Texas.
Going to be special.
Now, guys, I know that we don't do spoilers and things like that here, and I know that this is the other company, but you've been working with Bill Goldberg. So I'm just going to ask you one question about it. Does he leave Saturday night's main event as the new world champion, or does he put over Gunther in his hometown?
Your prediction threw me off so hard because that made so much sense. It would make so much sense, but it'd also be crazy if Bill won. You know, you'd be like, what?
Yeah. But at the same time, I can't imagine a world where Bill Goldberg loses in his. Yeah. You know, it's just, yeah.
You know, I'm gonna say, just because we love Bill, I'm gonna say Bill's gonna win. I don't know. Yeah.
If Bill, we'll see how much of an ego they have and see if the not being a WWE guy is a real thing. We'll see.
Okay.
Time will tell.
Okay, that's a better answer.
All I'll say to anybody watching or listening right now, there's never been a better time to be a pro wrestling fan than right now. You have a full weekend. Don't say that there's not enough to watch. There is literally 0 seconds from, I believe, Friday during SmackDown. You could back up. You can go Thursday with Collision, or even Wednesday with Dynamite. Let's start Wednesday on Dynamite. Start on Wednesday. You can go all the way through Sunday and enjoy wrestling. It's like a mini WrestleMania weekend.
This is nice. You're right, man. This really is.
All in Texas this week.
Heck yeah, man.
Gonna be a lot of fun.
And we would do wish nothing but the best for Bill. Goes out there, kicks butt, spanks Gunther's butt, and if he doesn't, we're warming up a place for him over here in AEW. All right, get his butt over here.
Good to see you again. If you haven't liked or subscribed to the podcast, make sure you do that before you leave today. And thank you for hanging out with us here on the Claw Pod. See you next week.